just laugh. Ẹ bá ń gbọ́ndọ̀ yìí gbẹ.
Jàǹgbàlà jùbú ìjùbú ìjùbú jàǹgbàlà.
Wá bá ń gbọ́ndọ̀ yìí gbẹ o. Bóyá o, mo ní ẹ bá ń gbọ́ndọ̀ yìí gbẹ o. Bóyá o, ẹ wá bá ń gbọ́ndọ̀ yìí gbẹ o. Bóyá o, òjò tó rọ̀ lánàá yẹn o. Gbogbo lé lomi rọ̀ sí. Bóyá o, gbogbo aṣọ ló tutù. Bóyá o, baálé ilé ti sùn lọ fọ́nfọ́n o. Gbogbo ọmọdé lomi ti kó lọ. Bóyá o, ẹ wá bá ń gbọ́ndọ̀ yìí gbẹ o. Bóyá o, mo ní ẹ bá ń gbọ́ndọ̀ yìí gbẹ o. Bóyá o, let us go now. To see the children when they are playing. What joy to see the children running around the place. Oh, once again to be like a child. Oh, once again to be like a child. Délé lónìí ẹ mọ́ gbàgbé ọ̀rọ̀ tá a wí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ń bọ́mọdé sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ fìfẹ́ bá wọn wí o. Ẹni tó wà ní kọ̀rọ̀ dákun jáde wá o. Kò mọ̀ sóhun tó dàbí ìfẹ́ aláṣepọ̀. Àní bẹ́ẹ̀ délé lónìí ẹ mọ́ gbàgbé ọ̀rọ̀ tá a wí o. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ń bọ́mọdé sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ fìfẹ́ bá wọn wí o. Ẹni tí ń bẹ ní kọ̀rọ̀ dákun jáde wá o. Ọmọ sóhun tó dàbí ìfẹ́ aláṣepọ̀ o. Ẹ má wẹ̀yìn o, ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ má wẹ̀yìn o, àní ẹ má wẹ̀yìn o, ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ má wẹ̀yìn o. Ìdí ọ̀rẹ́ mi lèmi ó fi sí o. Ìdí ọ̀rẹ́ mi lèmi ó fi sí o. Ìdí ọ̀rẹ́ mi lèmi ó fi sí o.
We taste it all.
Ìdí ọ̀rẹ́ mi lèmi ó fi sí o. Àwa máa sóríire o ayọ̀ àṣoríire. Àwa máa sóríire o ayọ̀ yìí o.
Ó dé lódì mọ́lẹ̀ Glorious Twins Radio yọ bí ọjọ́. All right. We have come today again with the glory of God to continue from where we stopped last week. I am Oderajo Toye on Literature on Air on Glorious Twins Radio. What do we do here on Monday night? We are on to literature, poetries, dramas, and proses that are accredited by the Ministry of Education for the literature students.
Àfọwọ́lágbá ní tẹ̀ yòókù mọ́lẹ̀, kò má sẹ́ni tó tó fọ́hùn. Alágbára ń kó ní.
This is Glorious Twins Radio.
Lọ́gàásì.
Welcome, don't touch that dial.
Lẹ́nu èèwọ̀ àfọ̀rọ̀fanilétí a kò má sẹ́ni tó jẹ́ fọ́hùn. Alákọ̀rí.
Don't touch the dial. the series of accredited texts that we have embarked on, we shall continue today by the special grace of God. And we will be rounding off an inspector call that we started, a drama for literature students. It will be kind enough of you to help me call on the literature students to come around as we want to go through the routine and the conclusion of what we have started together. Briefly, I would like to start. Remember where we started from. Don't forget the casts, the characters I discussed with you. I told you that the story centers on the particular family, and the family name is Bellins. Now, the Bellins family is a family of 4. Ato Bellin is the dad, Sibyl Bellin is the mom, Sheila Bellin is the daughter, while Eric Bellin is the son. They were having a cozy, they were having a rosy time, enjoyment time. They were enjoying themselves because they had an important visitor. The important visitor, who is he? His name is Gerard Croft. Why was he visiting? He visited them to have a dinner with them because this is the best time to introduce himself to the family as the intending husband for Sheila. She is the suitor for Sheila. It was such a glamorous gathering, and they were enjoying every bit of themselves. He even took the opportunity to propose. He brought out a ring and proposed to his beloved Sheila. The best you can do for this program is to come and become one of our sponsors. Share this, like it, comment on it, and share it as many times as possible, as it's going to get to the targeted audience. Àwọn wo ni audience wa yẹn gangan? Àwọn ọmọ secondary school tí wọ́n ṣe JAMB, tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe JAMB, tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe WAEC, tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe NECO, àtàwọn tó wà ní university lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí in the faculty and department of arts. So whatever we are going to discuss here, it can be used, it can be an accolade, it can help you with whatever your teachers will teach you or have taught you too. Simply because in Glorious Twins Radio, we say no to examination malpractices. That is why we want you to be able to write these exams for yourself, by yourself. We were talking about a family, the Bellies. I named them the Bellies because that's their surname, that is their family name. Gerard Croft has come as a suitor, as an intending husband in the embryo of who? Of Sheila. It was a beauty to behold. The family was happy. Cozy gathering. Lovely. But suddenly something happened. What happened? You can still remember? Almighty Inspector Gold. Suddenly an officer came. His name was Inspector Gold. And he said he had come to interrogate them about a particular incident that happened that same day. That there was a particular girl named Eva Smith, drank poison and committed suicide. That was why he needed to interrogate them in that family. Aformọlétí
olóhùn lọ̀gá yìí.
orúnkún ń ṣẹ̀jẹ̀.
Àfọwọ́lágbá.
They were throwing a party, and an officer has come to spoil the fun or what, because it doesn't even commiserate.
Níláyà jẹ́ olóhùn lọ̀gá àsìkò. Ìkà ẹlẹ́nu èèwọ̀ àfọ̀rọ̀fanilétí a kò má sẹ́ni tó jẹ́ fọ́.
This girl committed suicide, and they began to familiarize the girl with everybody. How does that start? It happened to be that the girl was one of the ex-staff of Atobelin, who is a pathological businessman, an hell-bent businessman, a practicing and diplomatic businessman. He was actually interested in Gerard Croft, not for loving or wanting to marry his daughter, but because Gerard's father, Mr. Croft, has a business empire bigger than his. So he took it an opportunity for his business to grow and be associated with the creme de la creme.
Ẹni tó kàn ló mọ̀ kò ní ṣerú ẹ̀ mọ́, ìpàsán ẹlẹ́rù jẹ́jẹ́ nílé wọn tí kò ní lọ́rọ̀ lọ lódò a ò rí bí sọ̀rọ̀ àgbà ń dorí kodò ń ronú o kò má sẹ́ni tó jẹ́ fọ́ọ̀hún abánijẹ́ ò mọ̀ wípé a ó dìde o.
Now suddenly Mr. Berlin, Mr. Arthur Berlin was like, why will you come here to come and spoil our fun? Somebody died in the infantry today, and we're throwing a mini party here. You just come and tell us that somebody died. How does that affect us? How can we come into that? But unfortunately, the girl happened to be one of his ex-staff, who he had sacked because the girl was one of the ringleaders who agitated in the company for more pay, because in those days they pay wages. This story happened around 1912, before the World War commenced. Then Mr. Berlin, Mr. Arthur Berlin. Let me be using Arthur. Let me be calling them by their first names because they all bear Berlin. So Mr. Arthur, the father, protested. How can you come to me to tell me something like this in a time like this? As a matter of fact, this girl left my company some 2 years ago. So how can you bring me into this? We are honorable. Don't just bring any shit, any dirtiness to come and stain our glorious white. But the man said, no. Maybe as you sacked her, led to another thing that got her killed. The inspector was very, 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 very stern and brilliant. Please don't forget all these concepts, because definitely one of them must come out. Definitely one of them must appear in the literature question on an inspector course. A non-African drama. From there, they moved to the next culprit, who is the person, Sheila. So after the father got the girl sacked, Sheila, she got another job elsewhere. A good job, nice job, but unfortunately, it was Sheila, Arthur's daughter, that got the girl sacked. Why? For jealousy, for hatred, for pride, for connection's sake. simply because the girl looked prettier than she was, simply because the clothes she bought psychologically would fit Eva Smith better than her. And at the same time, she caught Al smiling or laughing at her because the clothes actually was awkward on her. So from there, from daddy, sack A, to daughter, sack B. But Sheila was very, 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 very apologetic. She felt sorry for herself. She felt sorry for the girl. She felt remorseful. She was very sad about it. Thinking, why would a grown-up girl go ahead to commit suicide because he lost the job? But Inspector blew the trumpet. Inspector, let the cat out of the bag. Telling all of them in the family that the girl was actually pregnant. That one catalyzed a lot of emotions from all of them. So this girl that committed suicide was actually pregnant. How can a pregnant lady go ahead to kill herself? Oh shit, that is gory. But how does she just kill herself just like that? The inspector continued the game. You know that he had information. He's a very, very brilliant and fine officer. He knows his onions. He's an expert. He's a professional. So the girl didn't just die just like that after you got her sacked in the second office. No, she doesn't die then. She just decided to change her name away from Eva Smith to another name. What was the name? Dicey Renting. Immediately the name Dicey Renting was mentioned, Gerard gave himself away so soon, so cheaply, that everybody knew he knew something about the girl. Something was fishing. Everybody wants to know. Inspector wants to know. Most importantly, the honorable wife, Sheila, wants to know. She wanted to know because this guy had been forming busy type quite some times ago. Could it be that he had been seeing this girl and lying on to me that he was busy at work? With this simple calculation, Sheila was cantankerous, unyielding and uncooperative. She just want to know, had Gerard been following another girl, lying to her that he had been very busy back in those days, some months back. As a man is concerned, Gerard wouldn't want to open up in his fiance's presence. But she was just hell-bent. The father advised against that. The mother advised against that. But she said, no, I want to hear. I said my own in his presence when I got that kid sacked in Marywood's store. So whatever had transpired between the two of them, I want to hear too. It was about causing a rift within the duo. So you are like this. You want to see me fall because you had fallen. Nobody is talking about anybody falling. Somebody died here, and we just have to be diplomatic and be straightforward about it. Story yìí mà le gan. Left with no choice, Gerard had to speak up. Listen to what he said. Ó wá jẹ́wọ́ níbo, ó jẹ́wọ́ nílé àná. Wípé kí ni? Wípé lóòótọ́ òun mọ gẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn rí. Níbo ló ti mọ̀? Mo pàdé gẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn lóòótẹ́. Kí ló lọ ṣe lóòótẹ́? Nígbà míì tá a bá ti ṣiṣẹ́ tán lọ́jọ́ míì báyẹn, a máa lọ síbi tá a ti máa mu ọtí. A dẹ̀ tún máa lọ gbé àwọn babes lóríṣiríṣi. So in a nutshell, a máa lọ gbé àwọn olóṣó. Ó jẹ́wọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ nílé àná lójú bàbá ìyàwó, lójú ìyá ìyàwó, lójú ìyàwó gangan. Ẹ ti di yam pepper scatter. Iṣu àtàyànyàn. What a catastrophic conversion. Right there, you should know how Sheila will be feeling. After all, láti bí ìdélú èbó, obìnrin ò yàtọ̀. Right now, only Sheila was on the side of the inspector and the girl, cross-questioning others alongside the inspector. So, whatever the inspector says, if anyone doesn't want to answer, it was Sheila that will shout, "Oh yeah, damn, answer, no, don't waste officers' time." Because of jealousy, she had heard what she wasn't supposed to hear. Ó ti gbọ́gbọ́ púpọ̀ ló ṣe ń fọ̀fọ̀ fúfọ̀.
Ẹgbà mẹ́rìnlá ló ń jẹ òwúrọ̀, ìkó méjìlá ní tọ̀sán.
From there they moved away from. Then when last did you see her? She said you were asking, do you love her? Let me start with that. Do you love her? Actually, ṣe kún mo love her. No, but ọmọ yẹn ló jí fún mi. Nílé àná. Gerard Croft.
Àgbà ń dorí kodò, ń ronú o, kò má sẹ́ni tó jẹ́ fọ́ọ̀hún, abánijẹ́ ò mọ̀.
Moving away from Gerard Croft onto the mother. So the girl had also been in contact with the mother, shaped Sibyl Berlin. So there is this charity organization in Bromley. There's this charity organization in Bromley in which Mrs. Berlin, that's Sibyl Berlin, the mother, the mom, Sibyl Berlin, was one of the greatest decisive factors. While a young girl, pregnant lady, came asking for help. And naturally, that is what they do by helping the less privileged. Now they asked the woman, "Do you know the girl?" He said, "I don't know her." He was shown the photograph, and she said, "I know her. She's a very stupid liar." How do you mean she lies? She came to our organization to lie. She firstly called herself Mrs. Berlin. Ṣé ẹ rántí pọ́mọ yìí náà ló kọ́kọ́ ń jẹ́ Eva Smith? Ó náà ló ń jẹ́ Daisy Renton. Ó tún wá lọ pera rẹ̀ ní Mrs. Berlin fún Mrs. Berlin. That automatically triggered hatred from Mrs. Berlin to her, because how will you call yourself Mrs. Berlin and you're pregnant? And I am Mrs. Berlin. No other family bears the name. Are you insinuating that you're pregnant for my husband or something in African settings? That is what was going to happen. The girl furthered her lies by saying that her husband deserted her when she was pregnant. So, Mrs. Belling wanted to know how and why she bore that name, Belling. And later on, the girl confessed unto her that she was never married, so she has no right. She had no right to be bearing the word Miss, that appellation, Mrs. And also, she discovered that the husband didn't run away. The husband was a teenager, a drunkard, a drunker, a drunk. Let me use that word. A drunk, a teenager that stole money to take care of the girl. So the girl, on the other hand, decided not to collect a dime for that boy again because he had been stealing money to fend for the girl. Now, the Inspector Gould, the officer, made Mrs. Belling understood why she was very wrong for doing that. At the same time, Mrs. Belling made him understand why he did that. Why she did that, excuse me. And can you tell me that what she was telling me was true? It couldn't have been the truth because she started with big lies. So how do you want me to pick the truth out of the lies? So I used everything within my reach to make sure she was not helped. And that made that girl committed suicide. It made that girl killed herself, even as pregnant as she was. So Mrs. Belling was like, why you don't need to shift blame on me. Shift the blame on whoever impregnated the girl and refused to take good care or take responsibility or take charge of the girl. That such man must be very useless. He used a lot of adjectives to qualify the bearer. He ought to be taken to be public, to be made converse, to be made conversed by force. He ought to be taken to be public, to be prosecuted. She said a lot of things. Whereas, who actually impregnated the girl according to the storyline? It was Eric Belling. Eric Belling had been drinking lately, had been stealing money from the office from his father's company lately. But the mother didn't know that he was the accomplice. He was the man that actually impregnated the young boy who actually impregnated that girl. To cut the long story short, a house that started with merriment on that same day became a battlefield, a battleground, where people were pinpointing and blaming one another over a particular crime, simply because a girl has died. The girl committed suicide. Eric, instead of taking the blame of not being responsible, of being a drunk, of not taking care of the young girl, began to shift the blame on his mom. Mom, you have killed her. You killed my baby too. That's how you do. You're always nasty. You're always Whereas before all this argument ensued, Gerard had left because Sheila returned the proposal ring. Marriage it is scatter. Ìní ni wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ marriage o. Ìní náà ni marriage forí sánpọ́n. Inspector Gulu, oh, the bẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run. I want to round it off right now because this is where we stopped last week. I'll be rapid about it because I want to finish it. Please pardon me. So suddenly, Gerard came back to inform them this man that came impersonating an inspector was never an inspector. He was never a police officer. He said he met one friend of his that happened to be a policeman, and he said in that city, Bromley, no, there was no officer named or that answered Inspector Gold. He even described how he looked like, and there's nobody bears the name. No one bore the name Inspector Gold. So who could he have been? Then they began to reason. This is this episode's an analysis. So I'm going to be profound about it, but rapidly. Now they began to brainstorm. How come he couldn't have been if he were an officer, we are in problem. If he still wasn't an officer, we are still in soup, because who could he have been? We had all confessed unto him, stating what we did, as truthful as our ignorance. So they put up a call to the chief police, to the police boss, and he confirmed that nobody bore the name. They felt a sigh of relief. Wishing double. But Sheila and Eric, they were never satisfied. They were very, very, very concerned, particular about the girl that committed suicide. One, why were they? Eric happened to be the father of the intended baby of the pregnancy. One, and Sheila was very, very jealous because this was the girl her husband or her intending husband had been busy with, while he lied that he was busy at work. So they wanted justice for the girl. Now the police is out of the game, and you wanted everybody to change their ways simply because you're touched one way or the other. So they as they were brainstorming, I had said it. He could never have been a police officer. The way he talked to us, shouted on us, slammed us, all abusive words, used vulgar languages against us, as honorable, as honorary as we are. I don't think there is any police in this city that could have talked to us like that. For sure, for guarantee, they had to call the hospital. Did anybody die there today? Or was there a suicide case in your hospital today? And they said no. Ilé náà tó ń dáàbò ọkàn wọn tó balẹ̀ sí torí pé wọ́n pe hospital, wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ lé hospital pé ẹnìkan kan ò pa rẹ̀ síbí o. Irú kéèsì yẹn tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ní bíbáyìí ó ti fẹ́ẹ̀ tó oṣù 3. wípé a ó dìde pẹ̀lú ìgboyà. They were happy. Inú wọn dùn gan. But Eric and Sheila were not confused. They were not convinced. They were still confused. But somebody died. It was Gerard that said, wait, I had figured out this man's trick. When he showed Daddy the photograph, who else does he show? He said, nobody. When he showed you, Sheila, the photograph, who else did he show? Nobody. Mommy, when he showed you the photograph, who else did he show? Nobody. Apparently, he had been showing us different pictures at the same time. He showed Daddy a different girl. He showed Mommy another girl. He showed you, Sheila, another girl. He had really played trick on them. Whereas the officer said something before he left. He said this evinced that committed suicide. Our case cannot be rectified. Our case could not be rectified because she was gone and gone forever. But there are so many other people that we will meet on our way as we journey through life. We have to make sure we do what is right by them. This is against the lecture that Daddy had been given Gerard Croft and Eric Berlin while they were together, telling them that one man for himself, he must take care of himself even at the expense of other people. All these things are in our previous episodes. So the whole family believed that they contributed in the Gates suicide mission. Daddy sacked her. Daughter got her fired. Gerard, the in-law led her on, showed her love, and left her at the middle of the road. Mommy denied her the last chance of help she could have used to survive in life. Eric made love to her because he bought her food. So, apparently or obviously, Eric used her. They were all happy and relieved at the end of the day, getting to know that nobody died in the hospital, getting to know that Inspector Gould was never an officer, getting to know that he actually showed them different photographs so that he can bring everybody into the crime at the same time, soiling the name of the family. And suddenly something happened. I want you to listen very well here. As they went back to their happy mood, Gerard wanted to give the ring back onto Sheila. After all, into dá wàhálà lẹ̀ ó kúkú ti kóra rẹ̀ lọ. Ọ̀fẹ́ ọlọ́pàá tó dá wàhálà lẹ̀ kì í ṣe ọlọ́pàá. Ọmọ tán ló kú kò kú. Sheila said no, still hold the ring. We still have to know each other better than now. I want you to think about it and I want to go and sleep. You know what double dating means to a woman, or extramarital affair, what it means to a woman. She took it a big deal. She was disturbed, perturbed. And suddenly something happened. The phone rang, the telephone rang, and Mr. Berlin went to pick up the phone. He picked up the call, and it was a call stating that somebody died, somebody committed suicide in the hospital, and the person was dead, and an inspector was on his way to come and interrogate them on the subject matter. Wahala dey. They thought they were free. Gbogbo wọn káwọ́ lórí. Wọ́n pariwo kí leléyìí. When we thought we were free, when we thought we were off the hook, the problem just began. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan? Lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí wọ́n ti ń dunnú, tínú wọn ti ń dùn wípé ọlọ́pàá yẹn kú iṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá, ọmọ tó kú ẹnìkan kò kú, ẹ jẹ́ ká continue happiness wa lọ, kọ́mẹ́kẹ́ nìkan kọ́ máa ba ayọ̀ wa jẹ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni fóònù ríǹgì, fóònù tó ríǹgì yẹn kí ló sọ o? Wọ́n wá pè wọ́n wípé ẹnìkan pa ara rẹ̀ o ní hospital báyìí, ó gbé poison jẹ ni. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ọlọ́pàá kan ti ń bọ̀ lójú ọ̀nà láti wá ṣe kí ni o, láti wá fọ̀rọ̀ wá yín lẹ́nu wò, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ wà nínú ilé yẹn, ń tẹ́ ẹ bá mọ̀ nípa rẹ̀. Wọ́n ní wàhálà dé. Eléyìí kà màmá. So who could the officer that was the end of the story, like seriously, that was the end of the story. So what they were about to go through, they had witnessed it. Intọ́pọ̀lọpàá fẹ́ wá bí wọ́n ṣe ń bọ̀ yẹn, ẹnìkan ti kọ́kọ́ wá láti wá fún wọn ní idea. Ta lẹni náà o? Inspector Go. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ti rí pé ẹni náà kì í ṣe inspector, tá wá lẹni náà lè jẹ́. That could have been a spirit, bóyá ẹ̀mí Ọlọ́run ni, bóyá ẹ̀mí kan ni, bóyá àǹjọ̀nú ni. We were never told in the drama. All we knew was he came and made everybody confess what they did, and he gave them advice. So what do you think will happen when the new officer or when the real officer comes? This officer that came had already given them insights of what to say and what not to say, how to say it and not get into trouble. Everybody already knew they already knew what they were going to say as another officer was coming, so they could decide to tell him the truth, they could decide not to tell him the truth, they could decide to fight over it, they could decide not to fight over it. Daddy ló sack the girl yẹn. When daddy sacked the girl because she asked for increment, the daughter got her fired because of jealousy and hatred for the girl. Whereas Gerard knew the girl, loved her up, and gave up on her at the middle of the journey of the girl's life. Also, Eric used the girl by laying claim on sex with her because he had bought her food and drink. And lastly, Eric impregnated the girl, was stealing money to give on the girl to take care of herself, and the girl decided not to have any other money from him because she doesn't like something like that. So finally the girl went to a charity organization seeking help, seeking assistance. But for the fact that she called herself Mrs. Berlin made everything difficult for her so as not to get the deserved help. That was why the girl went ahead and committed suicide. But all this proved out to be unreal. It wasn't real because they confirmed from the hospital, they confirmed from the police, there was never anyone that bore the name Inspector Gold, and nobody actually died in the hospital that same day. But as they were happy, something happened that changed the story. They received another call stating that somebody just died, somebody just committed suicide in the hospital, and an inspector was on his way to come to their house, the Berlin's house, to interrogate all of them. So how can we picture this? We can conveniently say that God gave them the opportunity to know what was going to happen. That was a forecast. That was a foresight of what was going to happen. It was like a foreshadow of what was going to happen. Now an inspector is coming, and they must be very, very, very and adequately prepared now. So they shall know what to say. They shall know what not to say. etc. So I in my own paraphrase, I call the inspector Goal, I call it a spirit, because he was never an inspector. And if he was a man, how will he know all the atrocities each and every one of them had committed and brought them together at the same time? For sponsorship, you can get across to me. For sponsorship or information, or any information or inquiry, you can get across to me on 08112003636. I recap: 08112003636.
kálukú gbéra nílẹ̀ òní lọ́jọ́ ìtúsílẹ̀ afẹ́kórè jáde ìtura màdé o.
At Glorious Twins Radio, Bodija, Basharun Ibadan, something is going to happen on December 19. Glorious Twins Radio, Basharun Ibadan. So we are having a Father Christmas show on December 19th December 2025. Is going to be a grand show, a big show for our children who are interested in seeing the Father Christmas. Ẹ̀bùn tí wọ́n fẹ́ fún àwọn ọmọ yìí, nígbà tí mo rí àyà mi já pé ṣé lórí 5,000 náà ládùúrà ẹ̀bùn yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ yín kọ́ wá wo Father Christmas ní iléeṣẹ́ wa Glorious Twins Radio ní Basharun Ibadan. Right now we are on to mobile Father Christmas for schools. So if your schools and churches are interested, you can get across to us on the marketing department of this radio station, or better still, you can call the number on the screen so that we give you good and vital information. Glorious Twins Radio, wọ́n tún ń gbé Father Christmas káàkiri gbogbo ibi. Ó máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ wo? Ní ọjọ́ on the 8th. Ọjọ́ wo on the 8th yẹn o? Èní ní on the 8th. Èdè ló bẹ̀rẹ̀ tá a máa gbé Father Christmas lọ sí schools káàkiri lówó tí ò gajara lọ rárá. Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ mọ̀ nípa rẹ̀ dáadáa, ẹ pè nọ́mbà tó wà lórí screen yẹn, àbí kẹ́ get across to me 08112003636. So we can bring the Father Christmas to your school and make it a memorable day. Ẹ̀bùn tá a dẹ̀ máa fún wọn, ẹ̀bùn tí a ti fún wọn, tí a bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí fún wọn láti ìní, ó kọjá, ó bù wáyà. Ṣùgbọ́n tó bá di December 19th ó ní grand finale Father Christmas, ó máa le gan, ó máa ẹ̀bùn tí wọ́n fẹ́ fún wọn nígbà tí mo rí. And at what price? A price close to nothing. Just an opportunity to give back to the society. People that will come will know that the gift is even greater or bigger than the said 5,000 naira. Amòye tí àwọn radio station míì tí wọ́n ń gbé Father Christmas tí wọ́n sílẹ̀, ṣùgbọ́n nítorí wípé in Glorious Twins Radio we are very, 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 very considerate.
alákọ̀rí ò mọ̀ wípé a ó dìde o.
I will talk about some key factors, the themes of this non-African drama and Inspector Calls.
A ó dìde pọ̀.
Number 1 is love.
Ta ó dìde o.
A strong bond of love exists between Gerard Croft and the intended wife, which is Sheila Berlin.
Wípé a ó dìde pọ̀ láìró.
Number 2 is a partnership. Interest of partnership. Má gbàgbé rárá o. Àtọ̀ Berlin ó nífẹ̀ẹ́ Gerard Croft, kì í ṣe torí pé ó fẹ́ fi ọmọ rẹ̀ ló fi láìkẹ́ o. Ó láìkí Gerard Croft nítorí pé bàbá Gerard Croft náà ní business tó tóbi gan tí gbogbo ayé mọ̀. Ó dẹ̀ fẹ́ kí wọ́n jọ dá àwọn méjèèjì mọ̀ wípé àna sànà làwọn jọ jẹ́.
Ẹni tó kàn ló
Jealousy.
níṣerú ẹ̀ mọ́ ìpàsán ẹlẹ́rù jẹ́jẹ́.
Sheila became catastrophic. Sheila di alágídí ọmọ, ó di oníwàhálà ọmọ, ó di oníbínú, ó di gbogbo ẹ̀ nítorí wípé ó ti rí wípé Gerard tó parọ́ fún òun pé òun busy ní gbogbo àwọn ìgbà kan, àṣé ọmọ kan ló lọ ń bá tì.
A ó dìde pẹ̀lú ìgboyà wípé a ó dìde pọ̀ láìró.
These guys or pretense who pretended, Inspector Gould came to pretend as if he were an inspector, whereas we could not call him a woman being, neither could we call him a spirit. All we knew was he lied, he pretended, he disguised like he was a police officer. Irresponsibility. Who was irresponsible? Nobody but Eric. He was a drunk. Omu shege oti. Ọmọ kékeré dẹ̀ ni teenager. A teenager must be around 13 to 19. Ọmọ kékeré ló mu ọtí gan. Ó dẹ̀ tún ṣe kíni? Ó fún yàn lóyún. Ó tún ṣe kíni? Ó tún lọ jí owó láti máa take care etc. Gbogbo tí everything. Every element he was how can I put this? Every element he was exemplified with in that drama was negative. Everything pertaining to him in the drama was negative. Another one and the last is conversion. It was a mighty conversion. Everybody had to say what they had done in the secret openly. Let me use this as my example. Ẹ kàn wò wípé èèyàn wà ní ilé àná, ó wá jókòó sáàárín bàbá ìyàwó, ìyá ìyàwó, ìyàwó rẹ̀, àbúrò ìyàwó. Ó wà first láti jẹ́wọ́ wípé kíni o, wípé òun máa ń mu ọtí gan táwọn bá ti parí iṣẹ́, òun sì ló máa ń gbé àwọn ọmọbìnrin oríṣiríṣi. Can you imagine that kind of environment or what was going to be radiating in that house that time? Ìyẹn náà ń pè ní Yorùbá, wọ́n ń pè ní sàǹgbá fọ́. You can get as many as possible, but what was important in the drama I have discussed to the glory of God. So like this I round off today by the special grace of God. I simply believe, I have confidence, there is no iota of doubt in me that you have enjoyed the drama. If you had followed me carefully 2 or 3 weeks that I had started, you will know that the drama is edutaining, that is educative and entertaining. This I have discussed. You can go ahead to read the drama because you already have the background meaning. You already have the background knowledge. So with what you're going to read, or with what you have read and what I have discussed, if you put the two together, it's going to foster your success in exam. And I wish you best of luck. Let me round off with my regular statement. What is that? Education is never a scam, simply because it had never been a scam. Check it very well. Education is not a scam. I'm going to leave you in the wonderful hand of God as I come here, same station, same time, next week, by the special grace of God. My name is Oderajo Toye. Before that, next week, let me say peace. God bless ya.